Welcome back, guys. I'm Mellowseven. This is Football Manager 2018. This is the end of our beta save, although, of course, the beta's over. We're into the final version of the game. But this is the last game of the season for our Jupiler League save here with Go Ahead Eagles. So, since I have last seen you, which was the loss here against Ajax, I believe, in the Dutch semifinal, our form has been decidedly mixed. We've got 3 wins, 3 losses, and 5 draws. We did set the record for the number of draws, both for the team but also for Jupiler League. I think we have 16, maybe. 17 draws. Maybe the previous record was 16. And you can see we're right where we need to be. 8th place. Well into the playoff hunt here. But not completely... Well, we might be completely safe. It didn't say we were. But 47... That would get him 50 if he got a win. We'd still be at 53. We might be okay. We might be okay. They haven't told us anything yet. Now, you can see right here, these are the players, the teams as they are. Song Ajax, Song PSV, Song AZ. I guess that's all of them. These are essentially reserve teams, B teams for Ajax, PSV, and AZ. So they are ineligible for promotion, so they don't hurt us by being ahead of us. We care less where they are. Not a big deal. I'm not sure about Young Utrecht, obviously. The others are all Young. He's clearly up here. But, you know, we've got 2 in green, so I'm not really sure. Not really sure what that's going to happen. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We'll find out. We'll find out. I think, though, we're probably going to be fine. Now, dynamics have been a little bit interesting. We were just fine. We had good match cohesion. Actually, we had average match cohesion. It's jumped up to good recently. We had good leadership support. It was up here. We had a great locker room. We lost 1 game, and it went from here to here. And the reason? Because they were worried about locker room atmosphere. The locker room atmosphere was fine. They killed the locker room atmosphere with their worry about the locker room atmosphere. This is the second time this season we've had this huge bump where locker room was fine, and then somebody decided to complain about the locker room atmosphere, and the entire team jumped on board, and it just plummeted. So I'm not sure what the deal is with this, but there's no other issues except for these 2. Nobody cares about either of these people, Julian Wolf or Thomas. As you can see, Wolf is down here. Thomas isn't even on the senior team anymore. So not really sure why those are issues at all. But it happened right there. We won our last game, though, so atmosphere is on the way up. And you can see happiness, fair, good, really good, fair. Overall happiness is fine. So it'll get around. All of these are supporting this one complaint about something that didn't exist before he complained about it. So it was a self-fulfilling prophecy. It'd be nice to get rid of that. Our last match was super exciting. We don't score a lot of goals, and we rarely give up a lot of goals. This was a 4-3 just shootout with FC Dordrecht. It was spectacular. They got off to 2 goals right away. Ines Bunyaki, goals in the 3rd and the 22nd, and then we started to come back. Sibachet's got one in the 26th. Then Decker got one in the 43rd. We're like, yes, we're in this. Sibachet's got his 2nd in the 58th, and we had a lead, 3-2. They fired back instantly with Vucharl Gertruda. That's a mouthful. Getting his goal in the 60th minute. Thomas Holscher scored, though, in the 75th minute to salvage a victory for us, give us the 3 points, and bring us on. Leon de Kugel, who is the one who's in charge of that whole locker room rebound thing, was injured. Reading deeper into it, he was worried that we wouldn't stick by him in his injury. He's got, I think he had a concussion. And as such, I think that's probably what flipped the whole thing. And because he's the captain of the team, or it was Overgaard that had that injury. And maybe that was the game before. Whoops, that's not what I was trying to click. RKC. Here it is. This is the injury. Overgaard is the one that did it, and he's the captain of the team, so as soon as he was interested in the problem, you can see he's up here. It just cascaded. Just cascaded. It was terrible. Anyway, but all that leaves us with 1 match left in the season. That match is against FC Den Bosch. I think we're okay, but we really do. We'd like at least another draw out of that. That would be nice. A win would be awesome as well. I think we're going to continue to play our super crazy thing that we did here just because it's fun. This is a look at it here. We pulled back. We actually had an additional... No, I think this is how we were running it. Yeah, this is how we're running. So we've got these two guys pulled way up to help on support, and then just two strikers is what we did. We had a attacking midfielder and a striker, but I decided we could play a little bit more defensively by having somebody back here and then having two strikers up there. So we're kind of lobbing it forward. It was a little bit scary last time, but it worked. We clear ball to the flanks, we stay on our feet, and we be more expressive. Now, one of the problems with this team that we've run into is they're very good defensively, and you can see, right here, we're excellent. Our headers are a little bit low for our defense. Our attack isn't terrible, right? We're at average or a little bit above for pretty much everything. Where we fall down is, and you can see our midfielders, look how awesome we supposedly are. Where we fall down is right here, flair and vision. So we play well, we keep games tight, but we don't score goals. And this is why. Flair, vision, and subpar off the ball. So guys aren't able to get in position. They're not able to think ahead. They're not able to see the issue when they get there. So that's why we don't score a lot of goals. We don't give up many shots, and we often dominate possession and make lots of shots, but they're not good shots. We're not getting clear-cut chances. Even when they're a close shot, they're not a good shot. And I don't know how much of that we'll be able to see. That's stats. Goals. I mean, you can see right here, goals. Team 58 goals on 540 shots attempt. Shots on target, only 240 out of 540. Even penalties, right? We only scored on one of our two penalties. We're even failing on those. Now, somewhere in here, let's see. I've had some mistakes. I'm looking for somewhere if it tells us about chances. Discipline, goalkeeper. Apparently not. Apparently it's not actually going to tell us how many chances we got there, which would have been nice. Overview, maybe we'll see it here somewhere. Shooting accuracy of 37th. That's not helping the problem right there. We're almost last in the league, right? Only 20 teams in the league, and our accuracy is 37 or is 18th. So that's part of the problem. Goals against, tackles, somewhere. Well, I can't find it. You'd think it would be an easy to find stat like chances. I think somewhere they need to say, this formation, these are your stats for that formation. So we go to stats and we could click, overall or by formation. And one of the things it should tell us is how many chances we've created with that, right? We get it in our scouting about the other team. Why can't we get it for our team? That would be exceptional. And maybe it's there somewhere. I don't know. If you know where it is, let me know. But anyway, I think that's all I have to say about that. So that's our issue. I don't think it's anything that couldn't be fixed with maybe a striker with slightly better finishing and some good off the ball and flair, and maybe a midfielder with some better flair and vision. Our vision isn't terrible. This is vision right here. We've got some. There's a 13 for Shadrach and a 14 for Flair, which is why he did well early in the season. 5 goals, 7 assists, 3 players of the match, right? But that's kind of it. Holzer is 11 and 12, and he's done okay. But we just don't have much of it. 2, 9, 1, 5, 2, 5. There's a lot of low numbers in there. Yes, we're going to run Beltram up front because De Kogel's been not particularly good. I think he's injured yet again, for the rest of the season, essentially, for us. And so then we've got Decker, Holscher, and Suk in there because Overgore's injured, so he's kind of lost his spot in here to Decker. Hatinga and Shoop, actually, we're running the backup guys out there for this. Hatinga's actually really good at playing up here, and Shoop is not too shabby either. Also, we're running Grown Bast here in the center rather than out on a wing. And Nieuwenhuis. Although we might have to make sure we do some subs, just because Ketting and Reppy weren't playing spectacular, and we brought Nieuwenhuis in, and he played really well. So we've kind of gone the last couple games with them. Maybe we'll change that today as we get in there. We'll just have to kind of find out what we want to do, but I think we'll do the tunnel match. No, this is the exact same thing we ran last time, so I don't know what he's talking about. Right, results today. We deserve to qualify. Siebschetz, hope so. They deserve recognition. Sonny Stevens, natural choice. Absolutely. Yeah. He's injured. We might put him in as a sub. Whoa, hold on. I've been playing this a little faster than what we play normally. We'll knock that down too. Key highlights, all that stuff looks good. There we go. That's a little bit easier to watch, huh? I've been trying to burn through this last half of the season. I've already started my Journeyman series, so we kind of like to wrap this one up. Trying to do three or even four Football Manager videos a day would be difficult for me for any length of time. So we gotta kind of finish this one. And yeah, super exciting match. We have had 4 shots, only 1 on target, of course. They have a slight lead in possession, but nothing that scares me at the moment because they're not getting shots. Twiddle the thumbs. Maybe we should have left the speed up, right? Because clearly not a whole lot's going on. There we go. There's some more shots. Clearly we're getting something. Maybe I'll try get creative. See if somebody gets creative enough to get a shot. We finally gave up a shot. It was on target. We've got 3 fouls to our 1. Possessions equaled out or had for half a second. And yeah. Like I say, a draw is probably enough for us. I'd like to just get in and not have to play the first round of playoffs. But okay. Yeah, we have been the better team. I don't know why they're switching off, but in theory, we just need to continue on with this. So let's check our tactics really fast. I've got clear the flanks, be more expressive. Let's we're actually really good closing down, marking and tackling. We're actually one of the best teams for that. So let's go ahead and try that. See if that'll get the ball back to us a little bit more. I'm just gonna hit OK, and we'll see what happens. Anybody need to be swapped out? You know what we could do? I like Beltrame, but let's go ahead and go back to Sam Hendricks. You know, he was our starter for most, or he was supposed to be our starter for the season, so let's throw him in there. I like Jerome Bass, but let's go ahead and get Lum back in there. Rehepi's one of the few people to stick by me all season. He's really been awesome for us, at least for me as the manager, the coach. So let's get him in there. He deserves to play out this last game, if it is the last game. You know, there's always a chance of the playoffs, but our last regular season game anyway. And let's see what happens. We've got complacent and nervous, all on the same team. Shoop hasn't played especially well either. Let's try demand more here. Oh, something going on. Never mind. Never mind. Nothing to see here. We almost had a highlight. We got 10 shots. Only 2 have been on target. Fouls are creeped up. Possessions equal. All right, we're gonna make cancel. We're gonna make a change here real fast. This might doom us here. We're gonna move Holzer up there. We're gonna knock Sumaro back to ball-winning midfielder on support. Can he attack? He can attack. And I think let's go ahead and do that. We'll try to go a little bit more offensive. There we go. We're getting goals. They're getting shots too, though. We'll just have to keep our fingers crossed. There's another shot. It didn't miss by much, but it missed. Wow, this is we do have. Oh, we don't even have the. Oh, here it is. Key highlights. I mean, we have highlights in theory, right? There were no replays, so I guess that didn't matter. Yeah. Did we not have a single key highlight in this entire match? Is that really it? That's all we got? Was the final kick? I don't think I've ever seen that before. I mean, we had 14 shots. That just exemplifies what I'm saying about this team. We had 14 shots. 14. And not a single highlight. We led in possession, barely, but 51%. 8 fouls apiece, no yellow cards. We only gave up 4 shots. Not a highlight. And that's what I mean. This team has talent. It has ability. What it doesn't have is the ability to create chances. And without those chances, they can't score goals on a regular basis. They're perfect for Italian soccer, right? They can park the bus with the best of them. Unfortunately, they can't score goals. Not with any regularity, not with any consistency, because there's no creativity, there's no flair, there's no vision. And that's the problem with this team. So let's go ahead and see if it happened. By the way, I did sign a contract extension with the team, so I have done well enough. I'm just going to say it wasn't our night. We got shots, it just didn't happen. But again, it didn't happen because they don't have vision. They don't see the field well enough. And I don't know what we do with that. If that's a tactics training, if that's an attacking training. You know, we're in 9th place. Everybody here, so we're not in the bottom 2. FCOs must have won one of the periods. So they had a guaranteed place regardless of where they ended up. Young Ajax, Young PSV, they're not eligible. So let's see what we got going on. All right, FCO secure playoff spot. Go ahead, miss chance to win. Team secure playoff spot. Go ahead and die Grafenschap. Just Grafschap, excuse me. There's no N in the middle there. Grafschap have guaranteed themselves a Jupiler League playoff place. So we weren't exciting. We weren't even particularly interesting, I don't think, except in how our deficiencies created this kind of drawing juggernaut, right? 38 games played, only 54 points, 12 wins. We can come over here and take a look. 18 draws. So, like I say, it's not unfixable, and there's talent there. I'm not quite sure how it would go about. I mean, if we go ahead, let's take a look at a contract info. Why does contract info not actually give us any? Oh, that's general info. I could have sworn I clicked contract. There we go. Let's take a look at how many expire here this year. So this is, oops. So 630. So these 4, 5, however many there are. They don't even have a salary. They're on an amateur. So right now they're going to lose Corbenong, Kogel, Hatinga, Julian Wolf, Sebaschetz is on loan, Stefano Beltram is on loan. So that's a chunk. So they need to bring in some sort additional help on defense, some sort of wingers. And Bukima may potentially help with that, and Shoop may potentially help with that. But you're still going to need more because we played Shoop and Bukima this season. But you're losing those two. And it might be worth to keep Katinga to give him another contract. But he's pretty close to maxed out. Although, first touch of 13, marking of 11, tackling of 10. His heading is really poor to play in the center, though, so he has to play out here. His crossing is only 8. He does have speed, though, and he does have good first touch. So at this level, that's not terrible. So maybe, but he's 2 stars, maybe 2.5. Probably not worth to worry about. Corbenong is a good defensive player, but he's got no offensive ability. You can see he has some pace, but corners, crossing, dribbling, finishing, even first touch, they're all fairly poor. He has good marking and tackling. That's about it. But even his positioning isn't particularly strong at a 10. The only thing is he's got good determination, and this is a team that, as a whole, that's their negative. Although, as part of the entire, as a group, the whole league has a problem with determination because we're not at the bottom of it, despite the fact that determination is our squad negative. So I think something along the lines of if we were to go into players, and at this point I've scouted a number of players. If we were to say we want a striker and we want an attacking midfielder, and we are interested in 2 attributes specifically. We want flair and vision. And we say okay. And 15 is probably pushing that, but we're getting players there. So, we've got vision, pace, acceleration, corners and crossing. This is an interesting group there for what I asked for. Let's look at attributes, technical, but then we'll add mental, we'll add vision, we'll add flair, and we'll add vision. Flair and vision. So we could kind of take a look at what we wanted. Maybe for our striker, we're looking for flair, right? So we come in here, turn off the attacking midfielder. We want a striker. He doesn't have to be under 23. Maybe we go a little bit older. Maybe we go up to 25, right? Just as long as he has some speed. And we say okay. And that gives us a pretty decent selection of guys. Now, how many of these guys we could actually get? I don't know. Let's look at interest and transfer. There's 1. That's the problem. And you look at value here. Clearly, we're not going to be looking at that. So maybe we need to come in here and we need to add a condition. And we can say scouting maybe value. Where's value? Potential. Well, we could look at maybe maximum release fee. Maybe we can't. Maybe we can just look at minimum. Oh, minimum. That's not what I want. I want maximum. What they're going to ask for him. Guaranteed contract. That might be under scouting. Scouting. Maximum asking price. And we knock that down to say $375. Even that's probably more than we can do. But that gets us to 0. There's nothing there. But, we lower this down a little bit, right? Let's knock them both down to 12. Is there anything available at 12? Nope. Nope. This may just be a lost cause. There we go. We got 2 people at 10s. 10s don't really help us a whole lot, though, to be honest. But they are recommended players. And you can see 10 and 11, 10, 7 to 10, 8 to 11, 10 to 13. And if we're looking at strikers, we can start looking at maybe finishing, right? So finishing of 15, technique of 12, that's not too bad. His first touch is 12, his dribbling is 12. So somebody like this would be pretty good. No, he's not too bad either. If we go ahead and we just clear this and we go quick search, maybe technical, let's see. Let's just look at overview, recommended. Let's see what we got recommended here. And we'll say just strikers. There we go. So we come in here and see if we could find something. I'm a big fan of target men. I wouldn't mind a good target man for that. And then just kind of, you do your scoring from, say, a shadow striker. But he still needs to have some vision to help out there. So you might want to come in here and just insert a column. Mental vision. So maybe you're looking at somebody like this right here. 12 to 16. Good vision. He's already got a transfer, unfortunately, so he is not going to be on our list. But, somebody like that. So it's fixable, but you can see as soon as we start actually trying to knock it down to a reasonable budget and issue for us. Right now, we've got a transfer budget of $215. So, even these, maximum asking price of 300, that's out. That's out. We're looking more, in this range, especially if we need to get 2 players for that game or for that money, plus a couple backup defensive guys. So Anyway, that's my thoughts on that team. Dynamics, like I said, was fine for us for the season. The only problem I had was this weird locker room attend atmosphere is fine until somebody worries about it, and then the whole thing just collapses from that one complaint if that person's high enough up, even if there's no actual locker room problem up to that point. So that's my issue with that one. I didn't really see too many other problems with this playthrough. We had a hard time getting it up there, but it's because this team doesn't win. So that's an issue. We'd be better off for the same number of points with wins and losses, because wins help our locker room atmosphere out. A draw doesn't seem to. If anything, it seems to still be a negative. Medical center-wise, we can take a look at that real fast. I think we did a pretty good job this year of rotating players. We did have a few injury history. Come on, go away. Be nice if that... There. Can we click somewhere? You can see timeout for us. We had 3 people with major injuries. Season summary, I think that's what I want. So Sam Hendricks, Tim Holscher are the only ones that really missed significant amounts of time. But Leon de Kugel had 4 injuries. That was pretty annoying. And I guess that's about it. But they were our 2 strikers, so we really had to be careful until we got Seba Schetz. And even Seba had, he's only here for half the season. He had 4 injuries as well. So that was the biggest problem, was just our strikers and Tim Holscher, who's one of our more creative, offensive-minded players. So we lost a lot of that creativity out of our injury list. And we did a good job with Shadrach, but we really had to play him with kids gloves as well. We had to keep him rotated out because he was always high on the list too. So, but all in all, I think we did a pretty good job with that. So I think that kind of touches on most of the big new stuff: scouting, medical, dynamics. Kind of a wrap up this team. I probably will play this team just to see what happens in the playoff, but our series is done. We made our contractual goal, which was to make the playoffs, and we completed a full season. So yay us. Anyway, if you'd like to see more Football Manager content, don't forget to subscribe. I've already started the Journeyman Save. We are coaching the Chinese under-23 international team to start with, so check those videos out. They're a lot more fun. They're different, but they're a little more exciting. That team scores goals. So that's always more fun, right? Anyway, we'll see you guys next time. Cheers.